Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our national conference. In this quick opening session, we want to accomplish 4 things. We're going to check in on how things have been going so far at conference, give you a sense of what to expect today, announce the result of our student representatives at large election, and announce the result of our bylaw change. But before we kick off the second day of our conference, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Katie Versheldon, our National Council Secretary. So please help me by sending her some birthday wishes via the chat. And are there any other birthdays today or close today? If so, let us know in the chat as well. Happy birthday, Katie. Thanks for spending your day with us here today. So to get us started, please, after you're done with your birthday wishes, please share a word or two, identify which color you feel like today, or use an emoji to represent your conference experience so far. I, for one, left yesterday inspired by the energy of each of you brought to the sessions and excited about the possibilities for today. So once again, before we get started, if you need to, please rename yourself with your name and institution. And to do so, click the 3 dots in the top right of your screen and select rename. So we will start off shortly with position-based meetups, where you can connect with others around the country in a similar officer role. Then you will meet with your region to learn key content about leading your chapter. Next, we will come back for a closing business meeting. After a short break, you will choose your chapter operations and professional development sessions. The conference will culminate with a reimagined candlelight celebration, Mortarboard's tradition celebrating our chapters, and key chapter and alumni awards. We will end the conference by passing the leadership gavel. I would now like to invite our co-chairs of the Nominating and Credentials Committee, Guinevere Wagner and Mackenzie Morrison, to provide the results of the Student Representative at Large election and the proposed bylaw amendment vote.
Thank you so much, Cass. So yesterday, we cast ballots to elect our newest members of the National Council. One student representative. We have a vote for the representative. I'd like to congratulate our newest student representative at large, Eli Ade from Purdue University. The 2 candidates tied for the second representative position are Molly McBratney, William Jewell College, and Caitlin Noble, the University of Findlay. We will invite them to speak again for 90 seconds each in alphabetical order. At this time, I invite Molly McBratney to give her remarks.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say how grateful I am to be in the runoff for student representative. I care deeply about what Mortarboard stands for, leadership, service, and scholarship, and I'm ready to represent you all on a national level. As a dual sport athlete and a pre-med student, EMT, and student leader, I know how to balance responsibilities and work as part of the team. I'll bring the same energy into this role, listening to your ideas, helping chapters stay connected, and making sure voices are heard. Being a first responder has taught me how to stay calm in high-pressure situations and make quick decisions and really listen to when people need help. It's given me a stronger sense of responsibility and taught me how to be dependable, especially when others are counting on me. I think those skills translate directly into this role. As a student rep, I'd bring that same focus, empathy, and commitment into representing students and supporting chapters across the country. As a student representative for Mortarboard, I'd like to host open Zooms each month so I can get feedback from all of you to take to the National Council. I'd like to host chapter spotlights so that way every chapter can get recognition for everything they do. And I want to create a shared space where chapters can drop event ideas and fundraising strategies. And serving others is what I do every day as a first responder, and I'd be honored to continue that service as your student representative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Molly. Please welcome Caitlin Noble, our next candidate.
Okay, I just wanted to start by saying thank you for this opportunity to be in the runoff so I can share more of my ideas for this next year if I were to be elected. I want to focus on more connection between the chapters because the more we support each other, the more we can achieve together. And it is very important to have those connections and network within each other because we can support each other and give each other the help we may need along the way. And I will hopefully be traveling for vet school visits this next year and would love to have this opportunity to connect with other mortarboard chapters in person across the nation as I do those travels. As your student representative, I would uphold the pillars of mortarboard and especially focus on equity because it doesn't matter what size school you come from, we're all important and we all are serving mortarboard in our own ways. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. Official delegates, voting will open immediately. You should vote for one student representative candidate. The candidates appear on the ballot in the order you just heard them in and are listed with their name and college or university on the ballot. As a reminder, only the official delegate from each chapter can vote in this election. The ballot will close in 5 minutes. Members of the Nominating and Credentials Committee will serve as tellers and will count ballots and announce the winner prior to the region meetings at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yesterday, we also cast a ballot to revise our bylaws to remove the stated GPA for the membership requirements. I am pleased to share that the bylaw amendment passed with 61 in favor, 5 opposed, and 5 abstentions.
Thank you, Guinevere and Mackenzie, and congratulations to Eli. Please cast your vote for the second student representative now. In addition to national committees that will meet throughout the year, which you will hear more about towards the end of conference, this is a reminder to all students that you must submit your interest in serving on the Student Advisory Board by 2:15 Eastern today. That would be 2:15 Eastern, 1:15 Central, 12:15 Mountain, 11:15 Pacific, and 8:15 Hawaii. Each region will select one representative for their region to serve on the Student Advisory Board. Our newest student representatives at large will chair that board through the 2025 and 2026 year. Thank you for participating also in the governance work of our society and voting for the bylaw amendment. I would now like to invite our co-chair of the Nominating and Credentials Committee, Mackenzie Morrison, to provide the results of the student representative at large runoff election.
Hi, I am pleased to announce that we have a second student representative. I would like to congratulate our newest student representative at large, Molly McBrantney from William Jewell College. Thank you to all of the other candidates for a well-run race. Each of you brought a tremendous spirit and vigor to your candidacy. We know your chapters are in great hands this year and hope that you'll get involved in other ways nationally.
Congrats again to the new student representatives. Now it is time to meet your region coordinators and the other students in your region. Students, please join your region. Advisors, please go to the advisor room, and alumni will continue networking in the alumni room. Have a great meeting, everyone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And welcome to our final business meeting of the 62nd National Conference. The recess has ended and the meeting will come to order. We have a few orders of business. One, reviewing an update on the official conference roll from the Nominating and Credentials Committee, voting on the report from the co-chairs of the Resolutions and Recommendations Committee, recognizing the Student Advisory Board, acknowledging retiring members of our Foundation trustees and National Council, and installing the 2025 and 2026 National Council. So I'd like to invite back our co-chairs of the Nominating and Credentials Committee, Guinevere Wagner and Mackenzie Morrison, to provide us with the updated motion to amend the official roll for the conference.
Thank you, Cass. And thank you to the rest of our committee, Maribel Alfaro from San Diego State University, Tamika Ford from Jackson State University, Brenda Lang from Illinois State University, and our other co-chair, Mackenzie Morrison from University of South Alabama. At the 62nd Annual Conference, held from July 19, 2025 through July 20, 2025, we have had a total of 289 attendees participating in the Mortarboard National Conference. 102 unique chapters were represented by students, advisors, and alumni, including 161 collegiate members and 26 chapter advisors.
The student voice is incredibly important. Through various sessions, business meetings, and elections, college members have the opportunity to provide input and guidance for the future of Mortarboard. This year, 80 active college chapters registered a representative. We had one chapter with an advisor only and one chapter without an official voting delegate. For the official roll and record, we have 77 chapters with student delegate representation. Students and advisors, please capitalize on your relationships and knowledge gained from the conference to take back to your chapter.
Thank you both. As this motion comes from a committee, no second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a verbal vote. All in favor, please come off mute, raise your hand as you are able, and say aye.
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 All opposed, please come off mute, raise your hand as you are able, and say aye. Any abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Thank you, Mackenzie and Guinevere, and this fantastic nominating and credentials committee. You've done a fabulous job this weekend with this really important work. Now, I'm pleased to call the co-chairs of the Resolutions and Recommendations Committee, Genevieve Batman and Faraz Shabazi, back to the virtual floor to present the committee's report for the 62nd National Conference of Mortarboard.
Our committee met several times across this weekend and had great input from students across our delegation. I would like to start by thanking our committee members who provided fantastic ideas and input across the weekend. Our co-chair, Faraz Shabazi from the University of the Pacific, Elizabeth Barker from the University of Maryland, Erin Demon from the University of Washington, and Bree Hawkins from the University of New Mexico. As a reminder, Article 5, Section 1.6 in our national bylaws outlines that, quote, resolutions are the society's formal statement of philosophy or its deliberate choice of action and are effective for the next 2 years. Resolutions are looked to by the society for organizational direction and by chapters for programming direction. Conference recommendations are items suggested for the society's leadership or chapters to consider, end quote. Thank you all for your input on this year's conference resolutions and recommendations.
We are putting forward 3 resolutions and recommendations for the 62nd National Conference. The intent behind the proposal resolutions and recommendations is to reinforce continuity from year to year within chapters, ensure that new officers understand their roles and responsibilities, and facilitate officer transitions. Our first 2 recommendations are focused on membership. Whereas chapters maintain flexibility in their own membership processes, be it resolved that chapters have the opportunity to recruit and select junior standing collegiate students at their own discretion. Whereas leadership continuity from year to year within chapters is critical, be it resolved that chapters are strongly encouraged to recruit and select junior standing collegiate students in addition to senior standing collegiate students. Our third recommendation is focused on communications and resources. Whereas new officers benefit from clear onboarding materials, be it resolved that the national office produce simple and succinct videos and/or visual representation to welcome new officers to their roles and responsibilities, provide an introductory overview of the website, resources for all new officers, and provide an overview of the membership selection process.
Thank you, Genevieve and Faraz. I would like to call a vote on accepting the resolutions and recommendations from our conference committee. Given that this motion comes from a committee, it does not require a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'd like to ask our voting delegates to please vote to accept these resolutions and recommendations as the official charge from the student body at the 62nd National Mortarboard Conference. All in favor, please come off mute, raise your hand as you are able, and say aye.
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 All opposed, please come off mute, raise your hand as you're able, and say aye. Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Thank you to the Resolutions and Recommendations Committee. You have done a great job ensuring that the student voice is heard loud and clear this weekend. We are thrilled to see how this work will
My
continue
nails drew out for all because I don't want to do fake ones.
in the year ahead. I would like to now
Otherwise, they're
introduce our 2025-2026 Student Advisory Board. From Region 1, Elizabeth Barker, the University of Maryland. Ariana Johnson, Troy University, Region 2. Kirsten Farson-Mantor from Otterbein University for Region 3. Camilla Graham, Monmouth College, Region 4. Nicholas Morris, Texas Tech University, Region 5. And Francesca Bolt, University of Puget Sound, Region 6. Congratulations, and we look forward to working with you. I now yield the floor to Karen Steiner from the Mortarboard National Foundation.
Thank you, Cass. Congratulations to the newly elected Student Advisory Board members. I am Karen Steiner, National Foundation Vice President. I was initiated into the Jane K. Smith Cap and Gown chapter at San Diego State University in 1987. It is now my pleasure to recognize our 3 retiring trustees of the Mortarboard National Foundation this year. Mary Ruth Carlton. We gratefully recognize Mary Ruth Carlton, a 1969 initiate at the University of California, Berkeley. She has served with distinction on the Mortarboard National Foundation Board of Trustees since 2015. With a celebrated career in higher education advancement, Mary Ruth has been a true asset to Mortarboard. Over the past decade, Mary Ruth has served 3 full terms where she has generously shared her deep expertise in development and fundraising, including many years as development committee chair. Alongside her husband, Bruce, Mary Ruth established the Carlton Hunt Endowment Fund to support Mortarboard's mission in perpetuity. Mary Ruth has also been a fellowship reader and most recently was a team leader this past year. We are deeply grateful for her service. Jan Farrington. We extend our heartfelt thanks to Jan Farrington for her outstanding service to Mortarboard. Initiated at the University of Mississippi in 1964, Janet served as chapter vice president. Jan has remained a devoted alumna of the Tassels chapter, frequently returning to speak at chapter meetings and initiations. A trustee of the Mortarboard National Foundation since 2018, she has served as secretary for the past 4 years. She wrote up a lot of minutes. Jan has been a valued fellowship reader and team lead. A Torch Society member, number 12, Jan is also a fund founder establishing the Tassels Chapter Endowment. Jan was previously honored with the Alumni Achievement Award in 2017. Jan was instrumental in establishing our 233rd Mortarboard chapter, the Blue and White Tassel chapter at Jackson State University in 2020. We thank Jan for her enduring commitment, leadership, and generous spirit. Dr. Barb Arnold. And finally, it is with our deepest gratitude that we recognize Dr. Barbara Arnold for her extraordinary service to Mortarboard. Barb, initiated at the Pennsylvania State University in 1981, has just completed 10 years on the National Foundation Board of Trustees, including the last 5 as president. A former national president, Director of Communication, and President-elect. She also chaired the Centennial Steering Committee. Barb has read hundreds of fellowship applications over the past 10 years. A Torch Society charter member and founder of the Barbara J. Arnold Endowment Fund, Barb has been a generous, loyal donor and tireless advocate for Mortarboard's mission. We thank Barb for her visionary leadership, decades of dedication, and unwavering support. As we look ahead to the future of Mortarboard National Foundation, I'm pleased to welcome our newly elected officers of the Board of Trustees. Craig Evers, will step into the role of president, and David Lassiter will serve as our new secretary, both beginning 2-year terms. We're grateful for their continued leadership and commitment to the foundation. We also extend a warm welcome to Jenna Vitosh, a 2006 initiate from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, who will officially begin her first term as a trustee at the conclusion of this conference. Jenna has already made a strong impact as chair of the Investment Advisory Committee, and we're excited to see her contributions grow in this new role.
At this time, I would like to recognize our 5 retiring members of the National Council this year. Sierra Malik Misselhorn was initiated into Mortarboard at the Judy Lewis Logue Alcala chapter of University of San Diego in 2024. Sierra was elected as student representative in 2024 at our national conference in Columbus, Ohio. In addition to her student representative at large role, Sierra has served as president of her chapter this past year. She's been an advocate for the student voice and an engaged colleague with her fellow student representatives. Thank you, Sierra. Ananya Sinha was initiated into Mortarboard at the Senior Women's Chapter of Carleton College in 2024. Ananya was elected as student representative in 2024 at our national conference in Columbus, Ohio. This year, she has also served as chapter president for her chapter. Nanya has supported both her student rep colleagues and the student advisory board. Thank you, Nanya. And Gabrielle Tessier was initiated in a Mortarboard at the Huey Poluk chapter at the University of Hawaii, Manoa in 2023. Gabrielle was elected as student representative in 2023 at our virtual national conference and has also served as president of her chapter. During her 2 years as student representative at large, Gabby has worked on facilitating student communications, participating in the September 2023 Leadership Summit in Columbus, Ohio, collaborated with our alumni representatives to organize a networking social event at last year's national conference, and chaired our inaugural student advisory board. We appreciate her dedication to Mortarboard over the past 2 years and wish her well as she prepares to study abroad in Japan next year. Thank you, Gabrielle. Oh, Jenny Berchelinsky was initiated into Mortarboard in 1993 at the Barbara Cook chapter at Purdue University. Jenny, who has previously served on National Council as an alumni representative and secretary/treasurer, graciously agreed to step in and fill out a 1-year term as treasurer this past year. She might not pick up my calls after this, but I hope she still will. She is also a charter member of the Torch Society and was a section coordinator and ex officio on the Mortarboard National Foundation. Jenny is a fierce advocate for Mortarboard and a trusted voice in any strategic and organizational discussion. Jenny, who is, as you might guess, a dear friend, also tapped me into Mortarboard at Purdue, and her husband, Matt, her daughter, Anna, and her son, Adam, are all Purdue Mortarboards. So boil her up. Thank you, Jenny. And last, but of course not least, we thank Katie Chick for her long and dedicated service to Mortarboard. Katie was initiated into the Keystone chapter at Hood College in 2006. She has been an active national leader since 2007, serving in a wide variety of roles, including section coordinator, alumni representative, vice president, president-elect, national president, and most recently as immediate past president. A Torch Society charter member, fund founder, ex officio on the Mortarboard National Foundation, search and committee chair, and mentor to countless national leaders. Katie has also been a fierce advocate for all things mortarboard. Thank you, Katie, for your inspiring leadership, consistent commitment, and generous support. We are so grateful for your service to mortarboard.
Now it is time for a very special part of the weekend, the installation of next year's National Council. I'm thrilled to introduce you to your 25-26 National Council. Board of Trustees President Craig Evers from The Ohio State University. Immediate past President Dr. Cassandra Lucas from Purdue University. Alumni Representative at Large Wilson Chan from the University of Louisville. Student Representative at Large Eli Aid from Purdue University. Student Representative at Large Molly McBratney from William Jewell College. Alumni Representative at Large Leslie Ellis from Lenoir-Rhyne University. Secretary Katie Vershelden from Kansas State University. Treasurer Kaylee Weicker from Ohio Northern University. President-elect Dr. Patience Whitworth from The Ohio State University. And National President Nathan Cordell from the University of Alabama. National Council of 2025-2026. You are about to be installed before the entire delegation. You stand before the members you serve, both collegiate and alumni. You are the society's bridge between the present and our future. National Council of 25-2026, please come off mute at this time and respond, "I will," as you are able. As a member of the National Council, will you hold high the torch as you steward the daily business of the society, remembering always our ideals of scholarship, leadership, and service?
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
Will you hold high the torch to guide Mortarboard's prominence in higher education, its relevance to its diverse membership, and its long-standing commitment to service to the college and university community?
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
Will you promise to serve without fail throughout your term of office?
I will.
I will.
I will.
Please join me in thanking our National Council with a huge round of applause. At this time, we will take a short break. We will return for professional development sessions, followed by our chapter operations sessions. Sessions will stop promptly at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time.